4-year-old Lily loves playtime with her parents.
You like bubbles?
A beautiful young family in the Boston suburbs. But mom and dad Aina and John experience something many other couples do not.
People stare so much you'd think we were famous. They just stare so much.
And sometimes with kind of like a disgusted look, like, you know, like a sneer.
Sneers.
Or like, ugh, you know, I can't believe you're together or something like that.
That attention will be just one of the difficult talks they'll have with Lily when she gets older. Another will be about health care. Just a few weeks ago, they rushed Lily to a local hospital. She suffered second-degree burns to her face after bumping into a mug of boiled water for tea.
They said only one parent is allowed, because of COVID-19, to go with her and see the doctor. And so, you know, my wife and I looked at each other.
I said immediately, it has to be you.
Lily is most comforted with her mother. She was in her mother's arms crying, and we had to take her out of her mother's arms because we knew like the best way for her to have care was only going to be with me.
It's definitely sad, but it's also scary to just feel that powerless.
We know that Lily is going to get better care with a white father than she is with a black mother.
That knowledge is not just John's opinion. There is disparity in care based on skin color and dozens of studies that prove it.
There's this idea of implicit or unconscious bias, which is those biases that we don't know that we have, that are evident in our treatment of patients, for example, but are not known until someone else points it out.
Dr. Fatima Cody Stanford is a physician and scientist at Mass General and Harvard Medical School. She says this bias happens because racism is a learned behavior, even with people who don't believe they're racist.
For example, let's say you're watching television with your child and you're in a white household, and every time a black woman appears, you don't say anything negative, but you also don't say anything at all. And every time a white woman appears, it's like, oh, well, that's gorgeous and that's beautiful. She's amazing looking. I haven't taught my children that I don't like black people. What I did say without saying it is that I don't value them in the same way, because I never called them beautiful or amazing or whatever positive adjectives.
Dr. Stanford says bias is just one factor in a long-standing mistrust of the healthcare system.
A lot of that's really born in this idea of systemic racism that has been here for 400 plus years. They do not see individuals that look like myself rendering the care that patients need.
It's not just bias. There is a history of disparities in general health, too. 48% of black people are obese compared to 37% of white people. 40% are more likely to have high blood pressure than white people. Black people are 60% more likely to have diabetes, and nearly half of all black women will have heart disease. Doctors say some of this is genetics, but another massive factor is the stress of racism. Studies have proven it again and again.
So when a black person experiences racism and they internalize that, meaning they feel the pain associated with whatever that encounter is, they have increased stress, which leads to increased inflammation in the body. That increased inflammation in the body leads to storing of additional fat. It leads to worsening of arteries. It leads to higher blood pressure.
And it leads to earlier death. Black people are 30% more likely to die from heart disease. Black men, twice as likely to die from stroke. And black mothers are at least 4 times more likely to die during pregnancy or childbirth. You can see it here in Boston. Life expectancy in the predominantly white Back Bay is about 90 years. But it's only 59 in Roxbury, where half the residents are black. Doctors say these communities traditionally have less access to regular health care.
If you don't have that established because you don't feel as though there's a place for you to establish that, often you're getting kind of piecemeal care. So you may seek your care in urgent care settings or emergency department where there's no continuity.
There's 2 healthcare systems. There's a healthcare system for white people who are kind of like automatically listened to, automatically respected, automatically, you know, like cared for in a more holistic sense. And then there's a healthcare system for black people, which is just really different.
John and Aina know the disparities.
Dear fellow white people.
And they know the bias.
My wife is black, and last week our 2-year-old daughter got second-degree burns.
John wrote this Facebook post, now shared a few thousand times. It's about that experience with Lily, and it's a wake-up call as our nation again reaches a tipping point.
The silence from so many of us white people is deafening. I get that race is uncomfortable, but people's lives are more important than our comfort.
It's a perfect example of someone using their privilege, their status, their whiteness to, actually be an advocate and an ally. There are a lot of hopeful signs that we are going that way and seeing this racism as a product that is not like something for Black people to deal with and white people to empathize with, but actually white people to figure out like how to dismantle. And just be able to have the courage and the willingness to be able to just deal with that as a not personal thing about them, but just be willing and open to look at that. I'd say I am cautiously optimistic.